Hey y'all, so welcome to the first video recorded episode of On Assignment for Alignment. We are now a video podcast. I'm so excited, y'all. This is probably like my fourth time recording this, but honestly, I don't even care because this is my passion. I'm excited about it, and I recorded a million times over if I have to. So I feel like I chose a amazing topic for today to introduce the video podcast aspect of On Assignment for Alignment. And let's just get right into it, and I pray y'all enjoy it. I pray that y'all enjoy On Assignment for Alignment being a video podcast now. Let's just get right into it. Y'all, so for as long as I can remember, I've always saw myself being a successful woman. I may not have known what I wanted to be, but I knew who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a successful black woman and just being able to, just a boss ass bitch, really, walking in her truth, walking in her light, leaving her impact on the world, leaving her mark on the world. And I've always wanted success in its entirety. So that's the material possessions, the love, the peace of mind, and also being able to give back. I can't wait to get in my philanthropic era. It's going to be a vibe. And what I will say is that being that I always knew that I wanted to be successful, I always followed successful people's stories. Some that comes to mind is Lala Anthony, Kanye West, obviously, Jay-Z, obviously, Nipsey Hussle. And now that I'm decolonizing my brain and getting more in tune with being a black woman and the power that we possess, I have been getting more into women who are successful and walking in their truth and living in their passions. And what I've found is that I really love Issa Rae. I love Megan Thee Stallion, just their stories and how they stayed consistent and persistent, and they persevered through it all until they made it, and they still going. Zendaya, Marseille Martin, that's my girl, down boots. Young Miami and JT, love them down. Nicki, obviously. Just all the girls, obviously Beyonce too, but she don't really talk, so I can't really too much get into Miss Mama's mind. But just that hunger and that drive and that consistency is all that I've noticed for myself, And three of the common themes that have stuck out to me when I would follow these people's journeys and their stories, it was always consistency, having a separation period, and then just surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And these are three themes that are very relevant for me right now in this season of my life, and me chasing my dreams, and me me finally living in alignment with my dreams and my passion. And I just want to talk about those today. So I got my notes in front of me, y'all, so I'm sorry if I'm looking down, but this is my first episode, so bear with me. Consistency. So I want to talk about how consistency had always been a struggle for me in the past. I wasn't aligned with what God had for me and what God brought me here on earth to be. So it made me inconsistent because I was trying to fit myself into spaces that weren't for me. What I really had to understand is that God put me here to create my own lane and open up a new lane for people like me. And that's okay. And I had to understand that being my real authentic self and being true to who God put me here to be is what was going to allow me to have the drive and motivation to be consistent. Just living in my truth, living in who I am authentically, understanding that I love helping people. I love sparking something in people that, they didn't see before, changing their perspective. I fought it. But, the more I fought it, the more I felt misaligned. And now that I feel aligned, it's allowing me to be consistent. It's allowing me to want to be consistent, because I feel like when it comes to consistency and us building something from the ground up, it got to be something that you want. And I'm not the type of person, I can't force myself to want something. It has to really come from within me. It has to be a passion of mine. It has to be something that God put on my heart to do. I'm not really the type that's like, I didn't really want to start my journey off with, flipping houses and, just common things that people do for money, because my heart wasn't in it. It was going to make me miserable. It's like I'm just doing these things, and this knowledge that I'm learning isn't for me. It's boring. And on top of that, I got ADHD, boo. So that's a whole nother thing. I think those type of investments gonna have to come later on down the line, when I actually have a team of people that can help me out, because I don't want to sit in the meetings. I just want to poke my head in enough to know what's going on. Know anybody playing with my money, but that's not for me as of right now in this place in my life. And also, I want to talk about having my heart in the right place, because I have a podcast now, going back to YouTube, because I got my video podcast. But before I had a YouTube channel. I started it in 2019. I talk about this, and I was so excited for it. And at first I was really consistent, but I feel like after a while, I started to realize that my heart wasn't in the right place. So that took the consistency away from me, because I wasn't coming from a genuine place. I was coming from a place of like, oh, I just want to be one of the YouTube girlies. I want to be a superstar. I really was more in my ego about it. The messages that I would get from my videos, yes, it made me feel good, but it made me feel better that people were paying attention to me rather than people actually getting something from my message, So I had to change that about myself and get my heart in the right place. And now that I'm like, okay, I'm here to spark a healing in the world. I'm understanding that God put me here to be a vessel, to put my journey out, and, pray that it inspires somebody. Y'all, I'm on my clock. It's really just for decoration. Now that I've grown into this new version of myself, I'm able to understand that it's not about me, of course. And it's crazy, because soon as I let go of me coming from a place of ego, because at the end of the day, God still knows in my heart that I desire material possessions, but that's not what it's all about. And once I got in tune with the fact that, all you got to do is just be in the moment and enjoy where you at, and be consistent with where you at, and, see how the consistency plays out for you, Now that I'm in that space, in that area of my life, and I'm like, the mission is love. The mission is to put out love, to get back love, and make the world a better place. That's when the material things started to come, and that's when because I was able to refocus what consistency means. I was able to, what am I trying to say here? I'm sorry, y'all. I was able to change my mindset and shape consistency around my new mindset. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So now that I'm able to actually be consistent, I'm starting to see the fruit of my labor. We almost at 200 downloads for On Assignment for Alignment, which is beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm so grateful. Thank y'all so much for listening. I just got monetized on Facebook. It's like things are finally lining up for me, because I'm being more authentic to who I am, and I'm surrendering to God's plan. And honestly, I wouldn't have it no other way anyway, because I don't even want to be that person that has everything in life except for a peace of mind, and I'm putting all of my my entire personality into my material possessions, you know. So yeah, so now that my heart is in the right place, I'm able to be consistent. I get so excited just getting on camera and getting behind the microphone, and putting out a new message every single week. Now I got my midweek motivations episodes, and those are so fun, you know. I enjoy doing those. I really do. And now that I'm comfortable in who I am, now that I'm comfortable behind the camera, now that I'm comfortable behind the microphone, now that I'm doing it all for the right reasons, I'm able to stick to my plan. I have a plan for every single month. I didn't really have one for this month, which is crazy. I'm kind of just going with the flow. But you know, as long as I'm staying consistent, I'm uploading every Monday and every Wednesday. I feel good about myself, you know, and if it just feels good to just put out content, put out meaningful content, put out authentic content, put out content that is specific to me and my journey, and, you know, allowing that to help somebody else, because, you know, that's how consistency is for me. And now it's like, now that my heart is in the right place, I can follow my plan. I can follow God's plan. And I can, you know, continue to move forward. So let's talk about that separation period, because Miss Mama's really ain't no joke. So first of all, I want to say that I'm grateful for the separation period, and I'm grateful for it not only because it's allowing me to get in tune with myself and see where I went wrong in the past so that I could course correct for this new journey that I'm on, but also because all of the greats that I've watched become successful, in their story they always talk about a separation period. So that just lets me know that I'm on a path of becoming successful in all of its entirety, the way that I see it. You know, when I got out of the Army, I went back to the East Coast / the South, so Charlotte and Georgia and New York and Baltimore. I went back to the East Coast to, you know, get reacquainted with my family, get reacquainted with my friends, my loved ones. We're gonna say my loved ones. And it was a moment of time where I began to feel guilty because I had missed so much time away from my family and my friends, away from my loved ones. And it was to the point where I was considering moving back to the East Coast. I done thought about Baltimore. I done thought about Charlotte. I done thought about New York. And I was waiting on my house to be built. And that guilt almost talked me out of me buying my house and going into this new separation period. But I'm grateful that it didn't, you know. I was feeling a little guilty. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get all of my time back. But it's like God is giving you this time right now in between your house being built and between you getting out the Army and your house being finished. God is giving you this time to reacquaint with your loved ones, because when you get back, you are about to be in a new separation period. And what I'm grateful for about this new separation period is that I have more freedom. I'm not bound by the Army anymore. I can just get up and go. I can go see my parents when I need to. I can go be there for my family when I need to. I can go be there for my loved ones when I need to, period. And, you know, once I was able to come into this new separation period and grasp that concept of me being able to still have that freedom to go see my loved ones whenever need be, and whenever I just want to, you know, it was easier for me to embrace my separation period. You know, I had to realize that I wouldn't be able to fulfill my greatest potential without me having a separation period, because One thing about me is that, and I've talked about this with my therapist, is that I understand that I'm easily influenced. I'm easily influenced. It is what it is. And, my therapist actually said, a lot of people are actually easily influenced, but they don't know how to acknowledge it. They don't recognize it. And I think that that's a powerful thing that I was able to recognize that I'm easily influenced. So being back home, being on the East Coast, it would have me very distracted. It would. And just off beat with and misaligned with my journey and where I'm supposed to be. And I had to come and be in my separation period so that I can change my energy diet. I'm now in a space where I'm embracing being separated. Yes, it's very lonely. Don't get me wrong. It is extremely lonely. But I have to keep myself in high spirits and continue to remind myself that I'm in this season for a reason. And God is not going to keep me here forever. I have to understand that, in order to keep myself in high spirits, I have to change my energy diet. And that energy diet is basically not only me starting my healthy eating journey, but me starting my workout journey, me also starting to beginning to listen to content that fulfills my spirit. So that goes for anything like on TV, even TV shows. Like I can't too much binge watch a show for too long because I realize that it'll begin to mess with my brain chemistry, right? That's why I don't have no TVs in my house, for real. But I listen to music. Like I have my affirmations not affirmations podcast, but my affirmations album that I like to listen to keep me in alignment with where I'm going and where I'm headed and where I see myself at, right? And just continue to have those reminders and keep me in the spirit of, baby, you are in your separation season for a reason. And you need to be in tune with that reason, because you're going to miss out on what's for you if you don't embrace this season. So, that's, just like, I'm going to read off of my notes. Starting my healthy eating journey, like I mentioned before, working out, prayer, most definitely prayer, therapy, my affirming music, my little album I got, playlist, and surrounding myself with like-minded people. Period. And, I'm still figuring out my journey towards surrounding myself with like-minded people, because I never want to get into a space where I feel like I'm better than anybody. My ego just getting out of control, like, oh, I can't hang with them no more because they not on what I'm on. No, I love my loved ones. I love them. But I also love myself enough to know that my mission cannot be fulfilled in the presence of my loved ones. I have to separate myself enough to know that, I have to be aligned within my spirit so that I can become aligned with my greatest potential. But being in my separation season, I've been able to gain clarity on what conversations and what people are adding to my life and draining my life. And I've been able to eliminate those conversations and, those friendships and those situations that just don't serve me anymore. And it's been a difficult journey, of course, because it's hard to accept not being in relationship with people that you've cared about so much, so deeply in the past. But at the end of the day, girl, you got to do what you got to do. If I can't be around you right now in this season of my life, I can't be around you in this season of my life, because I got to get my own shit together. And I'm learning that surrounding myself with like-minded people is a gradual process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I'm also learning that I just need to enjoy allowing God to align people with me who are like-minded. And I'm now in a space where you know, I'm putting forth the effort to be present in the conversations that I'm having with people, because when you are in your separation season and you start to become aligned with like-minded people, you don't even realize that God is placing new people in your life. I'm speaking for myself. God is placing new people in my life that are aligned with my mission, with my goal, with where I'm headed in life. They see their passion, they see their mission clearly, just like me. And I ain't even been realizing it. You know, I actually, as I was writing this, I started to stop and I was like, oh my gosh, like God definitely has been aligning me with people who are on that same path as me, right? So that's my mission, to just remain present in these conversations. Like I was having a conversation with one of my friends when I went to visit my parents, and my dad came out of the room. He was like, Aya, who is that you were on the phone with? And I told him. He was like, that was he said, I couldn't hear what y'all were talking about, but you were very passionate about what you were saying. And he said, those are the type of friendships that you need to keep around, people that make you feel on fire about life, that keep you going in the right direction, and, you know, just keep you progressing, and who are like-minded and just like you, not just like you, but similar and like-minded. And that, honestly, that felt amazing to hear that from my dad, because it let me know, my parents are my role models. I say this all the time. It let me know that, you know, he was proud of me. He was proud of the woman that he raised. And it just let me know that I was aligned and I was in the right space. And, you know, that my dad sees the work that I'm doing on myself. And he appreciates it. And he loves it for me. Just understand that being aligned with like-minded people is a process. It's going to be gradual, but enjoy it. You know, be in the present and see how God is pulling everything together. And yeah, remember, like I always say, remember to be kind, remember to be compassionate with yourself, remember to hug yourself, remember that this is a journey. It's a marathon, it is not a race. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. And, you know, with that being said, I pray that y'all gained something from this first video episode of On Assignment for Alignment, and the 11th episode of On Assignment for Alignment. Praise the Lord. I'm so excited. You know, and I feel like if you relate to anything that I said, or if anything stuck out to you that I said, feel free to email me. We can have a dialogue. I may be able to get some content based off of what you say. My email is ayonaima@icloud.com or ayowalton0@gmail.com. And, you know, remember to follow me on Instagram, because, you know, I'm going to have my clips and stuff up there now, you know, my little video clips. And that is at AYONAIMA_. And then on TikTok, it's going to be the same thing, AYONAIMA, except for it's underscore OAFA. So AYONAIMA_OAFA. Yeah, so thank y'all for tuning in. I pray that y'all enjoyed this. Leave feedback in the comments. Don't forget to, if you listen to this, if you just listen to straight audio, don't forget to download, share it, favorite it, rate it. And, you know, come back for the next episode. Put your little notifications on, honey, because we ready to rumble. Exactly. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will catch y'all on the next episode of On Assignment for Alignment podcast with Ayonaima. I am Ayonaima.